from hospital gowns to red velvet glory. How Colorado and his family turned Deion Sanders' 58th birthday into a comeback celebration for the ages. Some birthdays are just dates on a calendar. A cake, a card, maybe a nice dinner if you're lucky. But when your name is Deion Coach Prime Sanders, your birthday becomes a national headline, a family roast, and a heartfelt reminder of how far you've come. This year, his 58th lap around the sun wasn't simply about blowing out candles. It was a symbolic victory lap, a defiant, joy-filled declaration that he's still here, still vibrant, and still the man who can command a room with nothing more than a grin. And make no mistake, this wasn't just another birthday. This was a comeback party, the kind no one could have scripted, because only life, and Deion Sanders' unshakable will, could deliver a storyline like this. The year that changed everything. To understand why August 9th, 2025, felt like a championship parade in miniature, you have to rewind. The past year for Deion Sanders has been the kind of year that tests even the strongest of spirits. In early 2025, news quietly trickled out that Sanders was facing a battle no amount of game planning could fully prepare him for: bladder cancer. The diagnosis wasn't just a curveball, it was a fastball to the ribs. The kind that knocks the air out of you. The kind that makes you pause, reconsider, and strip life down to what truly matters. For Sanders, it meant stepping away from the Colorado Buffaloes for over 2 months, leaving behind the daily grind of practices, locker room energy, and the sideline swagger that had defined his coaching identity. He spent that time in Texas, away from the spotlight, undergoing treatment and recovery. Those who know Sanders know he's a master of projecting strength, but behind closed doors, even legends have to confront their mortality. It was private, it was painful, and for a while it was unclear if Coach Prime would ever again be the same. The return at Big 12 Media Day. Then came July. Like a quarterback stepping back onto the field after a brutal hit, Sanders returned. Not limping, not tentative, but smiling wide and talking fast. At Big 12 Media Day, he was back in his element, turning press conferences into performances. "I'm healthy. I'm vibrant. I'm my old self," he said, with the confidence of a man who just survived the fourth quarter of the hardest game of his life. The room believed him, and just like that, the storyline shifted from "Will Coach Prime make it back?" to "What will Coach Prime do next?" Meanwhile, the Sanders kids were making their own headlines. If Deion's personal comeback was the main event, his sons were the undercard. Except in this family, the undercard is still prime time. Shedeur Sanders, his second oldest son, made his NFL preseason debut for the Cleveland Browns. And he didn't just show up, he showed out, completing 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and tossing 2 touchdowns against the Carolina Panthers. Shedeur looked like a man with something to prove. He even added 19 rushing yards for good measure. The Browns cruised to a 30-10 win, and head coach Kevin Stefanski summed it up in one word: pleased. Shilo Sanders, the hard-hitting defensive back, also got his NFL feet wet with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a preseason clash against the Tennessee Titans. He recorded his first tackle, a small but meaningful step in proving he belongs on a pro roster. The scoreboard in the Sanders household wasn't just lighting up, it was flashing like a Vegas marquee. The birthday surprise. August 9th started like any other day in Boulder, Colorado, or so Sanders thought. He walked into what he believed was another routine summer training meeting with his staff. But as the doors opened, the atmosphere shifted. Instead of laptops and playbooks, there was cake, sneakers, and something rarer: genuine surprise. The Colorado Buffalo staff had planned it all. Leading the charge was Coach Chaney, who apparently doubles as a gourmet baker. The cake of choice? Red velvet, Sanders' favorite. This wasn't store-bought. This was made by hand, by someone who knows that in football and in baking, it's all about precision and heart. Then came the letter. PA Tisha Stewart stepped forward, holding a folded sheet of paper. Her voice was warm, steady, and full of appreciation as she read aloud. "Coach Prime, happy birthday. Thank you for all you do for us as a staff. We are grateful for your unwavering leadership. There's no place we'd rather be. Enjoy your favorite red velvet cake." The room erupted in applause. Sanders, beaming, accepted the letter with the kind of humility that often hides behind his bigger-than-life persona. "Thank you, thank you, thank you," he said, the words rolling out with sincerity. A father's instinct. Here's where the moment shifted from a nice gesture to a signature Deion Sanders moment. Without missing a beat, he looked at the cake and declared, "I gotta share this with the kids. If I don't, I'm not gonna eat it." It was vintage Prime, equal parts playful and heartfelt. In his world, anything special is meant to be passed along to Shedeur, Shilo, Deandra, Shalomi, Bossy, Bucky, and now, Baby Snow. It's a family-first philosophy that has defined Sanders' life off the field. The sneakers heard round the locker room. If you know Deion Sanders, you know style matters. This is the man who once said, "You look good, you feel good, you play good." So, the Colorado staff made sure the birthday gifts extended beyond cake. They handed him 2 pairs of custom sneakers so bold, so prime time, they practically came with their own soundtrack. One pair screamed flash, the other swagger, both perfectly in sync with the man himself. The family depth chart. Then came the piece de resistance, the Sanders family power rankings, delivered straight from the man of the hour. Like an NFL coach revealing his starting lineup, Prime went down the list. Bucky, Deion Jr., for stepping up for his brother and showing dad some love. Shedeur Sanders, his Browns debut was too good not to earn the silver medal. Deandra, she scored major points for giving him the ultimate gift, a grandson, Snow, born on his birthday. Shalomi Bossy Sanders, always a contender, but just shy of the top 3 this year. Shilo Sanders, the only one yet to fully prove himself this season. "He is yet to play, so he is 5, Prime quipped. It was pure Coach Prime. Humor mixed with pride, turning family banter into shareable headlines. The bigger picture. It's easy to laugh at the rankings or marvel at the cake, but this birthday was layered, much like that red velvet. Only months earlier, Sanders was staring down a disease that could have robbed him of many more birthdays. Instead, here he was, healthy, strong, and surrounded by people who love him, both in his home and in his locker room. This wasn't just a celebration of another year lived. It was a celebration of resilience, of making it through, of being able to see your children thrive and your team rally behind you. Prime's legacy in motion, for all the attention on Shedeur's throws and Shilo's tackles. The biggest play in the Sanders family this year came from their father. He showed them and the world that adversity isn't the end. It's the middle of the story. And if you keep fighting, the next chapter can be sweeter than you imagined. Coach Prime's 58th birthday wasn't about age. It was about life, about walking into a room and realizing that the people in it, from your staff to your kids, are glad you're still here. It was about proving that no matter what you've faced, your best days can still be ahead. Because if there's one thing Deion Sanders has taught us, it's this: you can't measure a man by the yards he's gained or the touchdowns he's scored. Sometimes the true scoreboard is how many people show up to surprise you with cake, sneakers, and a standing ovation, simply because you're here to see another birthday.